Vandeyam Sri Guru Sri Yuttapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lilita Shri Vishagandvidamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Saminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavari Paschatade Shatarine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shivashabhanavi Devi Daitaya Kebabdaya Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Pave Namaha Madhuyo Dvala Premadya Sirupanuga Bhakti Dasi Gaura Kunu Shakti Vigrahai Namastade Namaste Gauravani Simote Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruda Pasidanta Dantaharine Nama Gaura Kishoraya Sakshad Vairagya Murtaye Viplanambara Sambodhe Padam Bhujayate Namaha Nama Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidanandanamine Gaura Shakti Sarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gurar Vivava Bumbestam Nirdeshta Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhumasi Jaganatayate Namaham Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Paditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namamavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratishe Namaha Panchadatvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Sarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Jaitam Sarato Pangor Mama Mandamater Gati Matsarvasa Padambojo Radha Madana Mohano Dibya Brindarana Kalpadramado Srimad Ratnagara Samhasanasto Srimad Radha Shila Govinda Devo Preshthali Visheva Manusmarami Shimam Rasa Rasarambi Vamse Vatatatastida Kashan Vinosanai Gopir Gopinata Shiestu Naha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshari Vrishabhano Sude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Gurave Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Itaralaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Taravaktaya Namo Namaha. Today we are going to speak about the most important service to the deities, that is, after the Mangalatik, the Sodasa Upachar Puja, the bathing and the dressing of the deities. On page, let me see, 33, there's a list of the items which are there in the 16 basic articles, 16 basic upachars. And and you can see 16 items, 12, 10, 5, 3, 2. So normally it is 16 items, and that is divided in 3. The reception is there, and then of the Lord, and then the bathing and the dressing, and then the actual worship of the Lord. So then we will go through that, but first of all, again we have to prepare ourselves in order to do the puja. So the pujari has taken bath, has put on clean cloth, has gone for Mangalatik, and then is preparing the plate. Abhigaman Upadan, and then comes, what is the third? Yoga. Yeah, yoga. You have to come to the transcendental platform. That is by chanting different mantras for purification, by doing Achman, so that you may be able to be on the transcendental platform and remain on the transcendental platform. And then one will prepare everything and bring everything on the altar and clean the place where we'll do the puja. A puja usually is done sitting down, the puja, when you worship the Lord. Whereas when you do artik, you're standing up. Most devotees, they don't know artik puja is all the same, but it's not the same. Artik, that is, for example, Mangalatik, Rajbhog Artik, when the pujari is standing and the doors are open and everyone can attend the artik and take part. And then the Lord is worshipped. Krishna and then Radharani, and then if Gonitai may be there, and then the Guru Parampara, at the end the spiritual master. So that is the artik. But when you do puja, you have to sit down usually. And you prepare everything. And when you do the puja, you have to chant some more mantras, more than just when you're doing the artik. And there is one mantra which you have to say, and that is also known as Bhuta Shuddhi. Bhuta means the material elements, the gross and the material body. As we know, Bhumira po nalovayo kamana buddhir evacha. Ahankari etyam me bidna prakatir astada. The gross body is made of earth, water, fire, air, ether. The subtle body is a false ego, or the ego, the intelligence and the mind. So these are the material elements. So they have to be purified. And and that usually we have one in Sanskrit which you have to recite. Naham viprona cha narapatira pivaishana shudro naham varina chagare patiyana varashaterva kintu prodhyanikla paramananda puramriptabder gopi batubragamo das anudasaha. That you will also find in the book. So these mantras before the puja, and that is written here in the book. First you have Guru Puja, then Gauranga, then Krishna. So that we will explain. So that means that is a famous verse by chanted Mahaprabhu himself also, and Prabhupada many times quoted that. And so explaining that I'm not a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Shudra, Grihastha, and whatever, Sannyasi, but I'm simply the servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna, the beloved of the gopis. So that consciousness has to be there. I'm not this body, I'm the servant of Krishna. But then we have to say also in one's own language, that is known as Bhuta Shuddhi in English or Hindi or German or French, whatever. And that goes as follows, that you can also find in the book. I am by nature the eternal servant of Krishna, but by misfortune, due to my being inimical towards him since time immemorial, I have been identifying with this gross and subtle material body and have been wandering in the cycle of birth and death. Now by some unimaginable good fortune, I know that I am an infinitesimal spiritual being completely apart from the gross and subtle body. Now by the order of my spiritual master, so I have obtained the good fortune of being able to serve his lotus feet as well as the lotus feet of Gaunita, Krishna, Sisi, Radha, Shama Sundar. So the devotee has to say that in one's own language. That is a little more elaborate, but at home in simple worship, you should just be conscious and aware that I am not this body, I am spirit soul, and now I am going to worship Krishna. So that is important. Because only when you are on the transcendental platform, then you can approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is completely transcendental, nothing to do with the material world. And when this is done, then we can start with the worship. And in elaborate worship, so you have to prepare everything for the puja. The table is there and everything is clean. The table, the floor, and then you arrange the paraphernalia. You have a bell on the left side, on the right side you have your Achman cup, and you have an Achman cup for the deities, and then you have the deities' dress, you have a Snan Pratra, the bathing plate for the Lord, place where you bathe him, and you have incense, you have ghee lamp, and what you will use with your right hand, you keep on your right side. What you will use with the left hand, you keep on your left hand. It's just practical. And for example, then you have a conch shell also, by which you will bathe the deities. That is on the right side. On the left side, you have a pot with some water, so you can fill up the conch shell. So everything has to be there. And then the boga plate, which you will offer. And so everything has to be ready, especially in the temple on the altar. Once the pujari is sitting down, he should not get up. He has to finish the puja. He cannot, if somebody is calling him, "Hey Krishna Das, I want to tell you something." No, you cannot go. You have to sit down and do the puja without getting up, without any disturbance. And so when everything is ready, in elaborate worship, you worship actually the asan. You worship the ground, the floor, you worship the asan, you worship the bell, you worship the conch shell, because that is the Lord's paraphernalia, worshipable. It's not just an ordinary bell, but it is all used in Krishna Seva, and it is expansion of Balaram. So it is worshipable. And for us to understand that and to remain humble, so all this paraphernalia is worshipped. At home, you may not have to do, because at home usually you don't have so much time to do elaborate worship, so you put all the paraphernalia, but you can offer respect, and you can sprinkle some water all around for purification. Yes?
Can we use the same paraphernalia we used to do?
Yes?
We use the same paraphernalia we used to do Krishna's artik in Guru Puja.
For Guru Puja, Krishna's artik, if you can use the same. Yeah. Well, the bell you can use the same. Achman cup which you're using, you can use the same. But if you're doing Guru Puja, you need one separate incense, one separate ghee lamp for the spiritual master. It has to be separate. Yes?
More in reference to Azabeth, can we use the same paraphernalia, for example, the conch, the handkerchief maybe, after washing it, cleaning it, after cleaning the paraphernalia, can we reuse that for the deities?
Yeah, of course. When you have the handkerchief that you offer artik, or you use that and you wash it, you dry it and you use it the next day. Yes, no problem. Yeah. Till it gets old. When it gets old, you can discard it, and then you buy a new one and you use a new one. But you can use many times, no problem. Yes? When you're sprinkling the water over the paraphernalia, yes, in elaborate worship, then actually you chant the Gopal mantra. If you are initiated, second. You have second initiation? No. First. Okay, those who have second initiation, and then they will chant one mantra which is known as Gopal mantra. And you sprinkle that over you and the paraphernalia. If not, you just chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. In elaborate worship, the water which you are using also has to be sanctified. And here in Vrindavan, of course, you consider all the water Jamuna water, because it's coming from the ground and ultimately connected to Jamuna. But if you're somewhere else, you can call the holy rivers. You hold the fingers in a certain way that is known as Ankush Mutra. Ankush. That is like the go to control the elephant. that is known as Ankush in Sanskrit, Hindi also. And then you will call the holy rivers by touching the water, but not with the fingernail, only with this part. And you say, Ganga Chaya, Yamuna Chaiva, Godavari Sarasastare, Narmade Sindhu Karaveli, Jaril Srim Saridem Kuru. And then by the purity, and then actually the holy river will be there. So simply by reciting this mantra, so then by the mercy of the Lord, the holy rivers may be there, and then you will use that to purify, to bathe the deities. In elaborate worship and simple worship, you keep it simple, no problem. Yeah. And then so when everything is ready, then first you have to do Guru Puja. You have to worship the spiritual master. That is mentioned in the scriptures in various places. Without Guru Puja, without worshipping the Guru, you cannot worship Krishna. So first there is Guru Puja. And that may be done at home in a simple way. In the temple it is more elaborate. But there also in the Guru Puja, first you have to offer respect. You have to say Guru Stuti. You have to chant some mantras in the worship of the Guru. Like Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshoran Militam Yanam Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yakipadamam Desi Gurum Dinataranam, and so on. So just so that you actually have the proper consciousness, and then you can understand the identity of the spiritual master. So first of all, some mantras are there by which you respect the spiritual master, and even the pranam mantra, and that is like for Prabhupada, for you Gurudev, and that is referring directly to that personality, to your spiritual master, and the Acharya Swarup, as you know him in this world. But then you have to chant two mantras which will help you to understand the identity of the spiritual master in Gaur Lila. One, and the other mantra is the identity of the spiritual master in Krishna Lila. Pratashamam navadvipe dinetam devijam guram varabhaya praranchantam smarittanam purvagam. So there it is explained that the spiritual master is situated there at the yoga pit in Navadvip. And is there ready to serve Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates. So Pratashimam Navadvipa in the early morning is there. And then he's always ready to give blessings to his disciples. Varabhaya Pradanshantam. Var Abhay. Var means blessing, Abhay fearlessness. Because in the material world it is fearful situation. Even sometimes for devotees. But the spiritual master, he will give fearlessness. He will help you to become fearless and fixed. And then Shantam, peacefulness is attained. So that is also there in the book, that mantra. You can see in the Guru Puja. And then another mantra is Siguru Paramananda Premananda Prada Brajananda Pradnanda Seman Yoja. And others are there, Radha Samukha Samsaktim Sakhi Sanganivasanim Tamaham Sadadam Mande Madhava Shivigraham. Is there in Krishna Lila, the spiritual master. Is there as the confidential associate of Srimati Radharani. And just like in the Gurvashtakam we chant every day, Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nritya Gita is there in Gaur Lila. When Mahaprabhu is chanting, the spiritual master is there. And Nikunja Yuno Ratikeli Siddhai Yayali Bhir Yuktira Pekshaniya Tatati Daksha Tatyavalabhatsya Vande Guru Sri Charanaravindam. Prabhuji, what is your name? Gopijana Vallabha. Wonderful name. Okay. So what is the meaning of that verse? You chant every day, right?
Yes.
So what is the meaning of Nikunja Yuno Ratikeli Siddhai?
That Guru helps to serve to Krishna.
A Guru helps to serve?
To Radha Krishna.
To serve Radha Krishna. Yes, where? In the Kunja. What is a Kunja?
It's like art.
Yeah, that is a place, usually in the forest, in Braj. It is a bower house made with the creepers, and where they perform the pastimes, Radha and Krishna. And who else is there? So the Guru is there, as you know him, as Prabhupada or Bhaktisiddhanta in this form?
In the form of Manjari.
Yeah, in the form of Gopi or Manjari, yes, right. So that you have to remember. So it's there in Golila, and a youthful form, just like in male form, at the age of Mahaprabhu, 20-25 years old, eternally, and in Krishna Lila as a Gopi or Manjari, little younger of Srimati Radharani, female form. In the Nikunja Lila or in the Radha Kund, as you explained yesterday noon time, Radha Krishna there, only the Gopis are there and Manjaris, and they are serving. So that is the identity of the spiritual master, of most of the acharyas in our sampradaya. So we must chant this mantra so we are aware of that fact. And then we can properly worship. When we understand that the spiritual master is there in this identity. And then eventually, when I properly engage in devotional service, I can realize that form also, my own form, and then I will be serving really. So that is Guru Puja. So chanting these mantras, so you have the proper consciousness, and then you offer, in a simple way, at least you just offer some flowers in Guru Puja. Yes. No problem. Yes, you can ask. Yes. Yes. And Gaur-lila and Krishna Lila, yes. Then you offer the articles. So in simple worship at home, you just offer flowers. And then in the temple, we do more elaborate. And so there's one, just like the 16 articles, which we will discuss in just a few minutes. So with the reception, bathing and dressing, like we have Prabhupada in the temple. So we'll do full puja for the spiritual master, for Prabhupada. But in simple worship, you can just offer some flowers, Panchopachar puja, 5 articles, flowers, and then doop, means incense, deep, ghee lamp, and then Naivedya. Gandha push, doop, deep, Naivedya. Chandan, then flowers, incense, ghee lamp, and then some boga. At that time when you do the puja, you offer some fruits, dry fruits, and nuts, and sweets. That is the Naivedya offering. At that time, when you do the puja, sitting down. So first Guru Puja, yes.
So Guru is separate and then...
First you do Guru Puja, and when that is complete, then you do Gauranga Puja. Same way. That the same articles may be there, but even there, so first you have to remember Mahaprabhu in Navadvip. So you have to do Navadvip Dham Dhyan. You have to remember Navadvip Dham. So the mantra is also there, Swadona Ashtaruttari Spuritamati Kumashtam. So that is mentioned here also. A little long verse, but at least you can also, in simple worship, you can just say, Jai Navadvip Dham, or Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. So you have to remember the holy Dham. And then you can worship Mahaprabhu, because Mahaprabhu is always in Navadvip. That is the highest realm. Some devotees think Mahaprabhu took sannyasi, was in Puri, that is the highest realm, but no. The highest realm is always Mayapur and Navadvip, where he is eternally residing in the spiritual realm. So we have to remember Navadvip, we worship Mahaprabhu in Navadvip or Gonitai, not in Puri, the highest realm. So you have to do Navadvip Dham Dhyan. So remember the holy Dham, and then you worship Mahaprabhu. But also there you have to offer some prayers to Mahaprabhu. Like Namah Vadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratise Namaha. Or for Gonitai Vandesi Krishna Chaitanya Nityanando Sodito Gaudaraya Pushpavanto Chitro Sandotamododo. And so many mantras are there in glorification of Mahaprabhu, so that will help us to have the proper consciousness. And then you offer the different items. Again there, in simple worship 5 articles, in elaborate worship you have 16, that we'll explain in 2 minutes. So first you do Guru Puja, then Gauranga Puja, and then you can worship Krishna or Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra. And so when you worship Krishna, there again, first you have to remember the holy Dham. Tato Vrindavanam Det, Paramananda Varanam, and so on. Yes.
So this Ganga which we're talking about, Chandan,
Chandan, yes.
are we talking about the Gopi Chandan or the...
No, that is sandalwood paste. Ganda, that is sandalwood paste that you offer.
And when you're offering Bhoga, so
Yes.
are we offering the same way?
The Bhoga?
Yeah.
Yes. The offering is the same way. Means chanting 3 times, the prayers 3 times. You may do, but usually when you do the puja for the pujari, who has been worshipping the deities, then he will chant the mantra, which is there for offering the bhoga, which is known as Naivedyam. Idam Naivedyam, Klim Krishnaya Namaha. And that is usually chanted. But then you may chant this mantra also. But actually that is the actual mantra for offering bhoga. Idam Naivedam, Klim Krishnaya Namaha. Idam Naivedam Samarpayami. That is the mantra for offering. Because already before we have done Guru Puja, and then we have chanted the mantra for Prabhupada. Therefore I chanted the whole Guru Bhapra mantras, because the pujari, especially on the altar in the big temples, they have to know all these mantras. At home, in simple worship, you may not say all of them, but if you know it is good.
So in this we offer the Bhoga and we wait for some time?
Yeah, 5 minutes. You wait 5 minutes for Krishna, he can eat. And that time you can chant some prayers also. But first we worship Guru, then Gauranga, then Krishna. So then you don't really have to actually chant these mantras again for Guru and Gauranga, because that is already done.
But we are sitting in front of the...
You're sitting in front of the deities and you're not going away. You're sitting there and the Lord is eating. And then, yes.
But when you mention that, so when you worship, for example,
Yes.
meditate on Vrindavan.
Yes. For Jagannath you meditate on Puri, Jagannath Puri. Yes. And mantras are there also. Kshetra mantra for Jagannath Puri. And so after that, so yes. The Naivedya. No, Naivedya is offering that is after the bathing. But it is one ceremony which is known as Soda Sopachar Puja, 16 articles. And the main part of that is the bathing and dressing. But after the bathing and dressing, there's the puja, the actual worship. And there you offer bhoga. Okay? Yes.
Mentioned that weekly once you dressing, that time for
Weekly, you're dressing.
means one time.
Yeah, well, in home worship, in the temple you bathe every day, the deities, every day. But at home you may do once a week. Yes.
About that other days,
Other days, what you have to do? Panchapachar, 5 articles. Chandan, then flowers, incense, ghee lamp, and then bhoga. That is known as Panchapachar Puja. If you cannot do 16, then you can do maybe 12. If you're going to do 12, then you do 10. If you cannot do 10, then you will do 5. That is explained on page number 33. It is mentioned there the list 16, 12, 10, 5. Even if you cannot do 5, then 3. If not 3, then you do 2. That is for Guru Puja usually. You may do simple, just some chandan and flowers. But if you have deities, you must do 5. You cannot just offer flowers as puja, no. That you must do every day. If you're not bathing and dressing, but you have to offer this panchopachar, 5 articles. Yes. Yes, in the big deities and yes, in the temple when you're doing the artik, you're doing the artik to the big deities. The big deities, yes, because these are the main deities, are the big ones. Because they are big, you can see them from far. The small one you can hardly see. So the main deities are the big ones. They are known as Mool Roop. Mool Roop. So Mool means the root, means the original, the most important deity. The more important ones are the big one. But the big one and small one, they're simultaneously one and different. They're the same. Radha Krishna, big and small. But they're different also, because one is big and one is small. And but you worship the main deity or the big deities. But because the small ones are there, you can just show a few circles. But for Artik, you do the big deities. But certain things you cannot do with the big deities, so therefore you have the small deities. And they are known as Utsav Vigraha or Vijay Vigraha. Utsav means for the festival. And that means for the daily worship, like the bathing and dressing. The bathing you cannot do to the big deities. You should never bathe the big deities, only the small ones. And the big deities you don't put to rest. You cannot put them in the bed. They're big and they're heavy. You need more than one person to, and usually the big deities, they're fixed, they should never be moved. But the small ones are there to put them to rest, to do the Abhishek, and also for festivals, to bring them on a palanquin. So therefore they are known as Utsav Vigraha. Okay? Yes?
You told that puja and aarti is different thing.
Yeah, puja and artik is different. So artik is standing, and you have the incense, ghee lamp, and then the water, the handkerchief, and everyone can watch that, right? Mangalatik, Rajbhog Artik, Sandhya Artik. But the puja is when the doors are closed, that you cannot see. Only the pujari is doing the puja, and for this he's sitting down, and he will get all the benefit of doing the puja. You are sitting outside doing japa, but you're not getting the benefit. But Mangal Artik, the pujari is doing Artik, you will get the benefit when you are there. But for the puja, you have to learn how to do puja and do the puja to get the benefit. So pujari is very fortunate. So then you sit down, and then now we can discuss these 16 articles. First, the reception is there. Swagat, you receive the Lord. Same for Guru in the elaborate worship and Gauranga, but just now we're discussing for Krishna. But the 16 articles are there. So you receive the Lord. So first the Swagat is there, so there are 7 items are there. First, asan. Asa means the sitting place, the place where the Lord is worshipped. You say, idam asanam krim krishnaya namaha. You offer to the Lord the asan. So then the Lord will come to the Snan Patra, and then He's worshipped there. And even there, so we have explained, you have to do Vrindavan Dham Dhyan, and then you have to chant some mantras, so that you are actually having the proper consciousness to worship Krishna. Just like the best one is actually Dibya Brindarane Kalpadrumado Srimad Ratnagar Simhasanasto Shrimad Radha Shila Govinda Devo Prishthali Biseva Manusmarami. In divine Vrindavan Dham, under the desire tree, Kalpavriksha tree, on a beautiful Singhasan, bedecked with jewels, Radha Krishna or Radha Govinda are sitting. And then they are worshipped, Prishtali Visevamanu Smarami, they are worshipped, they are being worshipped by their most confidential associates, these are the gopis and manjaris. So I remember that. So that is the perfect meditation for doing the puja, for starting the puja. Or then even for doing japa actually ultimately. That is very helpful. Yes.
So when we invite Krishna to Abhishek,
Yes.
we say,
Yes, you invite. Yes, you invite Krishna for the Abhishek.
we take shoes,
Yes. Down the altar you bring them to the bathing place. With the hand you do first pranam, and then you show them to please go there, and then you may take the shoes. Yeah, in the worship, yeah. In the temple. At home you don't have to have the shoes, because actually Krishna in Braj doesn't have shoes. Only in the worship we do, because so much awe and reverence has to be there. We have to know Krishna is God. But in Braj nobody knows that Krishna is God. Krishna is my most beloved. And Krishna is not wearing shoes in Braj. One time Maria Yashoda told him, you're going out to the forest and there are thorns and the stones are there. Your beautiful feet can be hurt. And then he said, well, but what about the cows? And she wanted to give him an umbrella also because it was a little hot. And then he said, what about the cows? And then she said, well, I cannot give for all the cows some paduka, something for the feet. And then he said, then you also should have a servant for the who has an umbrella, because the cows are also feeling hot. So Krishna is not thinking about himself only, he's thinking about his devotees. And then Mother Yashoda thought, okay, forget it about the shoes for Krishna and an umbrella. So in Braj he doesn't have, he doesn't wear. But in the deity worship we have to do, because we have to understand that Krishna is God, we have to tell people, we have to show people that Krishna is God. So therefore in deity worship you have some padukas, some shoes for Krishna, slippers, and then we also bring them to the bathing place. So that is the asam. And then the second is Prabhu Kripaya Swagadam Kuru. You welcoming the Lord, my dear Lord. Or maybe Jai Radhesham, how are you this morning? Everything is fine? You had a good night? Nice pastimes with Krishna? So then you may again say some prayers. So exchange has to be there. And after that, so etat padyam, you wash the lotus feet of the Lord. So usually you're just like we have Achman cup, we have a Achman patra to bathe the feet of the Lord. And home worship you can just have one to do everything for the deities. But in the temple you have one Achman patra, Achman cup for bathing the deities' feet, for washing the feet, you do 2 times. And then idam argyam, that is a offering out of respect. For that you now order Achman Patra and you offer that 1 time to the hands of the Lord as an offering. And so previously there were, when a guest was there, a respectable personality, that was the way of welcoming the person. And then usually one gift was given. Some cloth, some grain, some gold coins. But in simple worship, in the worship in the temple, you just offer some water in the hands, out of respect. Or sometimes a little conch shell is used, Vishesh Argya, and that is shown above the head 3 times, and then also maybe offered to the hand, out of respect. That is known as Argya, that you will offer 1 time. And after that, like we do Achman, so we offer Achman to the Lord. Idam Achmaniyam, Klim Krishnaya Namaha. So then 3 times we offer to the hand, so he may sip the water. Krishna may sip the water. After that, Esha Madhuparka. Madhuparka. Madhu means honey. It is a special drink which has a lot of honey and has some milk. Usually there's milk. 1 part of milk, half of it is honey, and half of this is yogurt, and then half of that is a little ghee, and then you have some gur water or sugar water. And that is mixed together, that is known as Madhuparka. Also Panchamrit, 5 kinds of nectars are there. And that is offered to Krishna. Also with the Achman Patra, you can have a little cup, and then you give in Krishna's hand, so he can drink that. It's very, very tasty. And then usually that will go in the Snan Patra, and usually you can see that the Chanamrit is sweet and tasty. That is because of the Madhuparka. After that we do again Achman, Punar Achmaniyam. Again we offer Achman to Krishna. So that is known as the Swagat, that is the welcome of the Lord. That is the first part, welcoming the Lord. Yes?
How is Madhuparka different from Panchamrit?
How it is different from Panchamrit? A Panchamrit, that is when you do the Abhishek, you have it separate. First you offer milk, then you offer the dahi, then you offer ghee, then you offer honey, and then you offer gur water or sugar water. And you have a bigger quantity of milk, bigger quantity of yogurt. Usually there is maybe 20 liters milk, then you have 10 liters yogurt, and then you have maybe 2-3 kilos of honey, and maybe 1 kilo ghee, and then you have maybe 5 kilo of sugar water. But when you have Madhuparka, you have milk, and then a big amount, like you have maybe 200 gram, then you take 100 gram honey. So the proportions are different. Therefore it is known as Madhuparka, it has a lot of honey. So it is sweet and it is tasty. So that is the difference. Okay? So that is the first part, the welcome. Yes. What? Madhuparka, no, 5. Milk, honey, yogurt, same as Panchamrit, but it is different proportions. Milk, yogurt, milk, honey, then yogurt, then a little ghee and sugar water. So the proportions are different. There's a lot of honey in proportion to the Panchamrit. There it is different. Yes. Punar Achmaniyam. Puna means again. Again doing Achman. Well, no, you offer to Krishna's hand, so he can do Achman. Yeah. So that is the welcome. So when the Lord is welcome, then you're going to bathe. So for that you have to put the Gamsha on Krishna and Radharani as a bathing dress. So you take out the cloth and then usually you give a massage to the Lord with oil, with some fragrant oil. In the summer it is cooling oil like sandalwood oil or khas oil, some different herbs. In the winter it is henna or saffron oil, which is heating. So according to season you have different oil for massaging the Lord. And when you have metal deities like Ashtadhatu deities, then you, in order to polish them, you take some lemon and some tilak. You grind the tilak and you mix some lemon, and with cotton you will polish the deity so the deity becomes shiny. And yes. What? No, that you have to be careful that it doesn't mix with the pancham, with the chanamrit. Yeah, that you have to be careful that it doesn't mix. So you have to use intelligence and see that it doesn't get mixed. Okay? Yes.
It's at the time of Sedam Sugandha when we will clean that.
Yeah, but that is part of Snanyam. That is when you're bathing the Lord, the first 7 are there, the welcome, and then the 8th is Snanyam. In the Snanyam, in the bathing of the Lord, that is included, the massage. First you give massage, you apply some oil, you give massage, and then you bathe the deities. But that is included in Snanyam, in the bathing. Yeah. But you may say Idam Sugandha Tailam. Yeah. But it is part of the Snanam, of the bathing of the Lord. And then you bathe the Lord with a conch shell 3 times, and while you're bathing, then you can chant some prayers like for Krishna Brahma Samhita. That is Prabhupada recommended that. Or you can chant some other prayers, like for example Krishna Ashtakam or Radhika Ashtakam or Nanda Nandan Ashtakam. So many beautiful prayers are there. Or you just chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So after that, you have bathed the deities, then you have to dry them with a towel. And then Vastram, then you offer the dress to the deities. Dhoti and chadar to Krishna. And in the winter when it's a little colder, then you have a kurta, and Radharani has a choli and a sari or a gopi skirt and a veil. So that is Vastram. And then the next, Abharanam. Abhushanam, some ornaments. Krishna has a belt, he has a choker, a necklace here, he has earrings, kangan, so he has bracelets, and he has nupur, ankle bracelets with little bells, and then he has a crown or he has a turban and the different mukut pieces. And 2 things have to be always there on Krishna, and the pujari has to see. What is it? Peacock feather and flute, yes. Always you must check. So sometimes pujaris, they forget. Like this morning I went for Mangalatik. I went there for 29 to do Mangalatik for Krishna Balaram. And then I was all ready and I see Krishna has no flute. And then I called the pujari, but Krishna Balaram pujari was not there. And then, but we only had 1 minute for opening. So then I had to call one other pujari and we had to get Shama Sundar's flute. So Krishna must have a flute. If Krishna doesn't have the flute, and he's not happy, and the devotees also, they will think, what is happening? So of course sometimes the gopis are stealing the flute, one time, and but in the temple worship, Krishna should have the flute. But one time, Indra Prabhu was a famous kirtan devotee. He established 24-hour kirtan. He was for some time dressing the deities. That was many years ago, almost 30 years ago. And I was there for darshan. And at that time I was teaching in Gurukul. And he was, because of some circumstances, he was there on the altar for a little while, worshipping Radha Shama Sundar. And then he opened the curtains at 7:15, with a big smile was there. He opened the curtain and then we looked at the deities, and I saw Krishna doesn't have the flute. And all the devotees, where is Krishna's flute? And I saw the flute in Radharani's left hand. So he was in the mood, Radharani stole the flute. So that is Bhav Seva, that is actually very nice. You can do that at home, but in the temple you cannot do. And then the devotees, they chastised him, the senior devotees. Why are you doing this? If you do this again, you cannot dress the deities. And then he became a little sad. And then actually next day he told me, why don't you worship the deities? I mean, I don't want to, I have enough seva. You can please do. So it was Krishna's arrangement, and I was actually becoming pujari. That was 30 years ago. And then I became head pujari also. So Krishna always must have the flute and the peacock feather. And you have to hang the cloth in a natural way. And he was actually very expert in that, Indra Prabhu. Dressing them in a very nice way. The chadars are hanging nicely, the garland, sometimes one side, sometimes the other side. So Krishna is known as meticulous dresser. He himself can dress up himself nicely. Otherwise Maria Yashoda is there too nicely, and the other gopis are there, so that Krishna looks most beautiful. So some training has to be there. It is an art, and of course Krishna is inspiring other gopis and manjaris. So Krishna must look beautiful, and when you dress the deities, you should hang the cloth in such a way. We use pins also that you don't see the pins. And we use blue tack to put the earrings, because otherwise you cannot put. So, but you should do it in such a way that the blue tack, the pins are hidden. And everything should look very beautiful and natural. The dress is there, one color of dress. And then the jewelry should be matching. So that one has to learn. And so that is important. Like for certain days you have, like a Monday it is white or red colored. Tuesdays is either red and blue. Wednesdays, that is also is mentioned in the end of the book, which color we use. On Ekadashi it is pink and red or white. On full moon, day and night, it is white and silver. On Amavasya, new moon, it is gold, black and gold. So according to the pastimes of the Lord also. So these different dresses are there. Like when Krishna is there in Radha Kund, the different kunjas are there, of the different gopis. Like Lalita Devi's kunj is like, she has a peacock dress, like a peacock dress with peacock feathers. And so also a greenish color is the kunja. And Vishaka Devi, she has a dress, light blue with some stars. And the kunja is also a similar color. So according to that, also Krishna sometimes he has a dress. So therefore different days we have different color of dresses. And on full moon, day and night, when Krishna, Purnima Titi, when Krishna is joining, or the gopis are meeting with Krishna at night time, so they have white color dress, so that they may not be seen at night time. And then Krishna, he has to apply some chandan on his face, so that he looks, so that his, although his color, blackish color is beautiful, so he may not be seen. So he's putting some chandan or something whitish, so that is not seen, and he has a white dress, and Radharani also. So according to that, so the dresses are there and the jewelry is matching. And then we should remember these pastimes also, if possible. So that will give pleasure to the Lord, and that will enthuse our own meditation, our bhav, our consciousness, our mood. And when Krishna is nicely dressed, and Radharani also, she has a nose ring and tika here and bangles, she has more bangles, and they have many rings. Radharani has 5 rings on the left hand and 2 on the right hand. And she has 2 toe rings on each foot, and the second or third finger of the foot of the... So when they're nicely decorated, then you do the puja, the actual puja, panchopachar puja. You offer some chandan, you may offer a little bit on the forehead and especially the feet, with some flowers. Flowers you dip in the chandan and you apply that. And then pushpa, imani pushpani, you offer some flowers to the lotus feet. And then eshadupa, then you offer the incense. But that you do sitting. Eshadupa and then eshadeepa. And then when you do the puja, you usually have only 1 ghee wick. Whereas when you have artik, you have 5 ghee wicks, pancha pradeep. And when you do puja, you have egg deep. And then after you offer the bhoga, first you offer the incense and ghee lamp, then you offer bhoga. Whereas when you do the artik in the morning, first you offer bhoga, then you do artik. Mangal bhog, mangal artik, raj bhog artik. But when you do puja, first you offer the incense, you worship the Lord, incense and ghee lamp, and then you offer the bhoga, naivedyam. And at the end you offer pranam to the Lord. And again you may offer some prayers to Krishna for your meditation, for the Lord's satisfaction, for His pleasure. So these are the 16 articles. And at the end, something very important which the pujari has to do every time he's worshipping the Lord. Even when he's doing artik, after the seva, you have to beg forgiveness for the Lord if you have done any offense. And there's a mantras also, mantrahinam, kriyahinam, bhaktihinam, janadana, yat pujita maideva paripunam tadashtume. My dear Lord, kindly accept whatever I have offered you, even though it is not chanted properly with the proper mantras, even I have done some mistake. Even though I don't have bhaktihinam, but please kindly accept that. And one other a verse is explaining aparad sahasani kriyantahana shamaya. Thousands of offenses are committed by me day and night. But thinking of me as your servant, kindly forgive me for these offenses. Because in the conditioned state, it is almost natural that one will think something wrong or do something wrong. Therefore, we have to beg forgiveness from the Lord. That is important. And there are 4 kinds of offenses that we should know. One offense is offenses due to impurity of the mind or the consciousness, or not proper speaking, or kaik, manasik and vachik. Kaik means from the body, vachik from the words, and manasik from the mind or consciousness. So 3 kinds of offenses due to impurity. So thinking bad things about somebody else, for example. Or you're offering the bhoga and you're already thinking, oh, nice rasgulla, nice rasmalai, I would like to eat that. But no, that is impurity in the consciousness. First Krishna, then you. Therefore when you do yagya, you say, idam Krishna, idam namama. You offer ahuti, you offer grains to the fire. I'm offering this to Krishna. It is for Krishna, not for me. Idam Krishnaya. Idam namama. Na, not. Mama, for me. So when you offer something, it is for Krishna, not for me. But sometimes in a conditioned state, the pujari is offering, is already thinking, oh, I'm looking forward to enjoy that nice food stuff. So that is impurity. Or if you're thinking bad about somebody, or this other pujari, he stole my Mahaprasad, I have to pay it back to him. Or this devotee stepped on my foot, he hurt my foot, this rascal. Or so during the puja, all these thoughts should not be there. Otherwise it is aparad. But actually even other times, it is not only on the altar, any time, if you are actually not thinking properly, then ultimately becomes Vaishnava parad, and then it becomes seva parad also. And speaking badly to others, about others, criticizing others, that is vachik. And then kayik, physical, like for example, the clothes are not clean, or you took prasad, you went to the bathroom, and then you're not changing the cloth. So that is an offense also. And second kind of offense is due to lack of respect. You're going on the altar in the beginning when the pujari is going on the altar, because it is new and the Lord is there. And they have heard Krishna is Sakshat Bhagavan is there. So they go with folded hands. Even they are almost shaking. Oh, I'm on the altar and they don't know what to do. And practically we have seen. And then after they learn how to do everything, and then everything becomes normal. And then sometimes there's a danger, it becomes like a ritual. You do it every day. And then it becomes normal. And then you become disrespectful actually. Then you don't do every day the achman, you don't chant the mantras. And then for example, speaking loudly before the deities. That you should not do. Just like let's say your spiritual master is there. You will not dare to speak loudly in front of him. But because many times the devotees then they are not fully conscious then and respecting the Lord, or it's just a statue. And then they speak loudly. And many times I have to tell the pujaris here also, don't speak loudly. Like we're speaking now, that is normal, but in front of the deities, you have to speak very softly. Prabhuji, please give me the pin cushion there. Prabhuji, please give me the flute. Not, hey, give me the flute. No, that is not proper. That is not respectful. So you have to be very respectful in front of the deities, understanding that the Supreme Lord is there. And for example, after eating, so we should be controlled in our eating, sleeping, that is a brahmana, that is a pujari. But if eating too much, then it was happening, then difficult to digest, then you have passing gas from up and down. So if you go on the altar and passing gas, that is not proper. That is an offense. So that is not being respectful. So you have to control. Sometimes maybe urge is there, but you have to hold it on the altar. If you're outside, no problem. You can pass air as much as you want. And in India, no problem. And even people passing air, and no problem. But in the West, if somebody is passing air, and you're there, then what is this person doing here, passing air, this uncultured person? But in India, there's no problem. But on the altar, you cannot do that. That is an offense, not being respectful. And then third kind of offense is offense due to lack of endeavor. You have to endeavor. Like it is, every day you have to offer nice fruits, nice vegetables, nice flowers. And on festival days also, you have to offer extra preparations. You have to have nice garlands and a new dress, like it is Janmashtami and you have Krishna, Radha Krishna. Then you have to have a new dress for the deities. That is important. Oh, 6 o'clock. So we have to endeavor. And then the fourth is lack of faith, not having full faith that the Supreme Lord is there. So that is usually, if one is not good in the sadhana, in chanting and hearing, and if it's not humble and respectful, then so if one is doing everything nicely, then he will have faith, because he's hearing nicely, he's understanding. But if one is negligent in his sadhana, then there's every chance that he will do an offense. And therefore then, so one has to be therefore careful and to have the proper sadhana. So they have to be avoided. So therefore after every seva you have to beg offenses, and you have to beg forgiveness from the Lord for any offenses committed. You may do in Sanskrit, the pujari is doing in Sanskrit, or you can also do with your own words. My dear Lord, if I did any offense, kindly forgive me. So that is puja. And then you have the good fortune, that is even mentioned, that the pujari, he can accept the Mahaprasad of the Lord. And then the Chanamrit also, which is very purifying and very wonderful. Hare Krishna, any question? Yes.
How long would it? How long would it be in the temple and at home?
The puja? Yeah, in the puja, usually in the temple, it will take usually 1.5 hours in the temple. It will take to do the puja properly. At home, if you do simple, you can do maybe in 45 minutes, depending on how many deities you have and how simple you do. But 45 minutes, 1 hour at home. No, if you do full. If you do simple, then you can do in half an hour. Yeah. Bathing and dressing, if you do everything, it will take 45 minutes. If you do just Panchapachar, 5 articles, you can do in half an hour. Yeah. Yes.
Just to clarify, Aarti is in the morning, like when we sing Mangalarti.
Yeah, we sing Mangalatik, that is Artik, when the Pujari is standing and everyone can see.
And puja,
Puja is when the doors are closed and only the Pujari is bathing and dressing the deities and, yeah, bathing and dressing and is sitting down.
so during the Aarti we just offer the items like incense.
Yes,
out.
yes,
Puja includes bathing and-
yes, yes, that is the difference. Okay, yes. When you have wooden deities, yes. Yeah, when you have wooden deities, you shouldn't bathe them too often. Because too much bathing will actually be harmful for the wood, will not be so good for the wood. Although the personality of Godhead is there, but still manifested in the wood. So usually the wooden deities are not bathed too often, rarely actually. But you can wipe with a slightly wet cloth and then you dry with the dry cloth. Okay? Yes.
So in reference to that question,
Yes. The wooden deities. Yes.
for example, I was told by another devotee that you can have a kalash and a conch and you can imagine bathing.
Yeah, yes. Well, you can do 2 ways. If you have wooden deities, you can have a snan patra and you can just ask the Lord to come there in meditation. And then you can just meditate that the Lord has come and then you can bathe him. Or you can have a mirror. You can have a mirror facing the deities and then you will see the deity in the mirror and then you bathe the mirror with the deity there in the mirror. 2 ways are there. Okay? That you can do for wooden deities. Anything else? Yes? The dresses of the Lord, yes. When they get old, yes. When they go all the dresses, when they're really, you cannot use them anymore, usually in the holy places, you can put in the holy river, in the big rivers. Now Jamuna doesn't have much water, now it is not permitted. But previously, and now there's so many temples, so many people, so many devotees, so it is not allowed to put in the holy river. But in the big, like Ganges river, even now they do. The old cloth and the flower garlands, prasadi garlands, they put in the holy river. In the city, not possible, no. You may put in the ocean, little inside, or if that is difficult, then you have to bury in one place. But then, for example, if you have a house with a garden, you can bury in one corner, but then you should make sure that you don't step on that place. Then you should have some tulsi on top of that, tulsi plant or the tulsi pot. So you have to find a place where you can do that. Or you can keep, and then if you go to Haridwar or Mayapur or somewhere, then you can put in a holy river. Okay? The Lord's dresses usually is difficult to wash. Yeah. Difficult. Because that will damage if you wash them. Anything else? Yes.
As you said, in the temple worship, one has to, after eating and after going to the washroom, one has to change the dress.
Yes, in the temple one has to change the dress.
At home, one has to change, or is it the purificatory mantras with that we can...
Yeah, at home it might be difficult. You might not have so much time to, for example, to change the dress all the time. So at home, for example, if you had breakfast and then you have to go for work and then you may come back or or even the wife has to take care of the children, then it may be difficult to all the time take bath. Then you can just do Achman and chant some mantras for purification, Om Apavitra Pavitrava, and then you chant Pranam mantra and then you may offer. But in the morning time when you do the puja, you must be clean. But then during the day, if you can be clean, it's good. If not, then you do Achman.
In the evenings also, like one has to take bath, like during the winter in the home.
Well, if it is difficult, then you just do Achman, same thing, because you have to be practical. But in the temple, you must take bath, you must have clean clothes. At home, it may not be possible, because as householder, you may be busy, and then taking care of the family, so many things to do. Then you may do Achman, and that is all right. Okay?
Another thing you were telling about the earrings.
Earrings.
Blue is there. Which blue is that?
Well, there's one, well, that you can get in the West, that is known as blue tack. Blue tack. It is a kind of glue. It's just a kind of gum. So that you use, that is known as blue tack. And in India, usually, they were using bee wax. The beeswax, which is there. And that will do the job also, but blue tack is a little better. So nowadays they're only using blue tack. But the beeswax is also okay. That will do the job too. But in the summer when it's very hot and it's almost melting, then it's a little challenge. But the blue tack is always sticking. Okay? Yes?
Probably if it's really cold in winter.
If it's really cold in the winter, yes?
And at home, so can we wear kurta with dhoti
At home, if it is really cold,
when doing puja?
when you're doing puja and you don't have a heater,
Yes.
and then you can wear kurta at home also.
Doing puja.
Doing puja, yeah, no problem. Krishna is understanding. Or this poor grihasta doesn't have much money to buy a heater, and he's cold, and he has to take care of the family. He should not get sick, let him wear the kurta, no problem. But in the temple you must have dhoti and chadar only. Sometimes, now we have heater, and on the altar is very pleasant. AC in the summer and heater in the winter, 2 heaters. But in the beginning when I first came here, there was no AC, and we had air cooler, but many times there was no electricity. And then generator was not working half of the time. So very cold in the winter, very difficult. In the summer, in the winter very cold, in the summer very hot. And no AC, and then very difficult. And no light, sometimes you have to have candle to dress the deities, and sweating, but so we have to do sometimes some austerity. Now it's easier. But still, then problems are there, then the mind is there and causing problem many times. Yeah.
When you worship the deities at home, is it necessary to have devotional clothes, or is it not clean?
At home, when you do the worship, is it necessary to have a devotional cloth or just clean cloth? Well, when you're doing the puja at home, it is better to have devotional cloth. Like Krishna is wearing dhoti and Radharani is wearing sari or skirt or and choli and the veil. So when you're worshipping the Lord, because we want to be there, like the gopis are there, and so they have devotional cloth. So that is better when you're worshipping the deities at home. Yeah, sometimes it rains, and in simple worship at home you can just have one and wipe all of them, no problem. No problem. That can be done. We have to be practical, it is important to be practical and see time, place and circumstances. And keep it simple, but have the bhav, the proper consciousness, that is most important. And try to be absorbed in Krishna and Krishna's pastimes. Anything else? Yes.
So in the winter, shall we use that hot water for...
In the winter, shall we use hot water to bathe the deities? Of course, yeah, it's cold. We should do bhav seva. So how we feel, so we should also treat the deities. We are feeling cold, so you're taking cold shower in the winter? Usually heat up the water, right? Especially if it is very cold like here or in the West, freezing cold. Then you take warm water to take bath. Same for the deities, you give warm water to the deities for taking bath.
And the conch shell
Conch shell?
We use that Lakshmi.
Lakshmi conch. Yeah, you may use Lakshmi conch. But that is, the main thing is you have to bathe them. If you have a Lakshmi conch, you have a normal conch, or if you simply have a lota, a pot, so you can bathe with that also, no harm. The main thing you have to bathe the deities. Okay? Okay, so, today there's some program in the temple also, Kartik Vandana. So maybe some devotees want to go there. I will have to go there also. So tomorrow is the last class, and so tomorrow we'll discuss about the festivals, and whatever, if somebody has some questions. Yes, the test, yes. And then we'll have a demonstration of Adivas Puja. Like when you have a festival that we explain tomorrow, then the day before there is a special puja, that we will show tomorrow also. And there will be a little prasadam also there. And then day after tomorrow in the morning we have Abhishek of the deities here. So the devotees, they can also come and see how the deities are bathed for the Abhishek. And then there will be a little prasad also after that. But some devotees are leaving tomorrow night. So then we'll have a certificate. And so those who are leaving tomorrow night, so we can just have a small oral little test just to see how much you know and what you should know, I will tell. Like you should know Panchanga Puja and the verse Gurave Gaurachandra, if you can know, that would be good. And what is important, you should know what I've explained. And if you can learn the puja, how to do the different articles which are there, that would be good. So, if you can do. Those who are leaving tomorrow night, we can have some oral test and then I will give the certificate. For those who are leaving later, so on the 13th evening, those who want to take a test, we can give a little test and then you can get a certificate that you participated and so everyone will be interested to take a little test. Yes? Who wants to take the test? Okay. So who wants to take tomorrow evening? Who has to leave quickly? So those who are leaving quickly, you can tomorrow evening after the seminar, you can come and then we'll have a little test and then we'll give you the certificate. Those who are leaving later, so they can come 13th evening at the same time, like we say 5 o'clock, and then you can just do a little test and then we'll give you the certificate also. Okay, is that all right? Any questions? Yes. What's that? No, there's one test. What, tomorrow evening or day after tomorrow evening? Is that okay?
Is it on 13th evening or 12th evening?
13th evening. I mean, see, on the 13th, not on the 12th. Those who are leaving 13th afternoon, then they can come tomorrow evening. Okay? Yeah. Yes. Tomorrow evening we'll show how to do the Adivas Puja, and day after tomorrow you will see the Abhishek here. You can come at 10:30. You come at 10:15 and 10:30 we start with the Abhishek. Okay? Oh, well, yeah, that you can see. So you come 10:15, then you can see. Okay? And of course, you want to learn very nicely, then you have to spend a little more time to learn. So, okay? Yeah. So we have some prasad for everyone. Srila Prabhupada ki? Yes. Yes.
Evening time we decorate, right?
Yes, we decorate. That we'll do also tomorrow evening.
That night we can remove or nice next day it's okay or
Yeah, we can keep the decoration. The flowers you can keep sometimes for 2-3 days also, no problem. Like we have orchids, which are very expensive, then you can keep for a few days, no problem. Okay? So there's prasad for everyone. You can come here, the Prabhuji is here and Mataji is this side.